Everyone. Welcome. And as we are finishing out week 3 and getting ready to start week 4, I wanted to just kind of give you a brief preview of what's coming up for week 4. Again, I'm still continued to be just impressed at the work you're doing, the time you're putting in, the thoughts you're having in regards to your readings. So just keep it up. I really am enjoying grading. It is taking me a little bit longer to get through all the discussion posts, but I'm trying to hopefully give you some helpful feedback in terms of your thoughts on the discussions and your articles that you're reading and so forth. So hang with me there, but I will continue to keep grading and keep working on just enjoying hearing your thoughts and seeing your discussions. As we head into week 4, I want to touch on a couple of things. One is in the first module, 4A, you're going to be reading about 3-act tasks, which is a newer idea that's being presented in math education by a lot of people who have really jumped on board. It was first developed by Dan Meyer. If you don't know his name, check him out. Check out his blog. It's fantastic, and he's got some really great ideas. But basically what he wanted to do was just to kind of revolutionize the idea of problem solving in mathematics in terms of how students go about problem solving, getting them engaged in the process, and so forth. So what you're going to be reading in Module 4A is you are going to be reading a chapter from the book I mentioned in my last video, Beyond Answers by Mike Flynn. This was who you also listened to the podcast for this past week. You're going to be reading the chapter on Mathematical Practice 4, Model with Mathematics. He's going to break down that mathematical practice into more common everyday language, give you some examples of how this is done in the classroom, what it really means to model with mathematics. You're going to see that this is one of the mathematical practices that's probably most misunderstood. People say they're modeling with mathematics when maybe they're really not. So I think you'll enjoy his reading. It's an easy read, very light read, but also very informative. If you like the chapter that you read from the book, then you might, again, I encourage you to get his book to really break down the other 7 mathematical practices. You're also going to read an article that will give you more information about what 3-act tasks are if you're not familiar with them, and also talk about how they've been implemented in a primary grade classroom. So I think you'll enjoy that, especially those of you who are teaching at those lower levels. But I think the good thing about 3-act tasks that I wanted to bring up in these readings is that they can be done at any grade level, and they are so much fun. I've done them with young kids, I've done them with upper elementary kids, and they just love them, and they don't realize they're problem solving, which is so neat to see. And they really, after we get done, they want to do another one. And how often do you get that in a math classroom, is they want to do more math. So it's just a really neat idea. So I hope you enjoy reading about this and getting some more information. You'll also read a short web page post from Graham Fletcher, who's another big name in 3-act tasks. He's done a lot with elementary level 3-act tasks. So I encourage you to just check him out. Do a quick Google search, Graham Fletcher 3-act tasks, and you'll see his page that gives you a lot of 3-act tasks that he's developed and linked to standards, so you can easily find one that might fit for you to do in your classroom. If you want more information about 3-act tasks, let me know. I'll be glad to kind of give you that. But I encourage you just to enjoy reading that, reading about what they are and how they can be implemented in your classroom, and how they're an example of this mathematical practice 4, modeling with mathematics. So Module 4B will be some more research and practitioner articles that you're going to read. This will bring up the idea of race and how it might be a predictor for success in algebra. So I think you'll get some good ideas that you can glean from this research as well. The third thing you're going to be doing this week is another major assignment, which is the assessment projects assignment. What you're going to be doing in this is you're going to be developing 3 different assessment questions. You can develop more if you'd like, but 3 different types of assessment questions that would be similar to the types of questions that students would see on the end of year test, the TN Ready test, and trying to connect those to the standards, the mathematical practices, and also the standards for mathematical proficiency. And so as you look at the instructions for this in that module for major assignments, when you look at the instructions specifically for the assessment project, you'll see some information about these strands of mathematical proficiency. This is something that was developed by the National Research Council several years ago about what it means to truly have students become mathematically proficient and what they need to be doing. Things like fluency mixed with conceptual understanding, mixed with justifying their reasoning, like you read about this past week 2. So anyway, I want you to kind of read through the instructions. I provided an example of some work that was done previously on this assignment by a student in another class. I think it'll give you some ideas as far as exactly what I'm wanting in this assignment, give you some direction. You certainly do not have to follow it exactly, but use it as a way to kind of get a sense of what I'm looking for. It was one of those assignments that was a little hard to really explain everything that I wanted in the assignment, but I think the example will help to illustrate that a little bit more. So if you have any questions, of course, let me know. I'm going to be in touch as the week goes on next week, talking a little bit about what you're going to be doing in week 5 with your action research plan. So look for a video on that coming up towards middle of next week. And we're going to be finishing up this class pretty soon. So again, thanks for your hard work. Keep at it. Have a great weekend, and I'll look forward to continuing to grade your work and continuing to have those discussions online. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be seeing you again soon.